Hello everybody and welcome to our challenge. I am so excited about this challenge. This is a 5-day challenge. It's about how to grow your list with live free content. And it is just something that I am so passionate about because live content is something I have been using very successfully in my business, and I've found that it's a really brilliant way to really get to know your audience so much faster because you are actually connecting with them face to face, so to speak, even though you're over online. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Today you've joined at exactly the right time because we're on to day one. And day one today is about how to nail your niche and become an ideal client magnet. Now what I'm planning today is to give you some content, a short amount of content, maybe up to 30 minutes, 30 minutes. And then I'm happy to take any questions that you may come up with. I love questions, I love interaction. So as you're coming in, please type in hello, and I would love to hear from you to know that you're here and you're watching and that you're excited to be here. If you're coming in, watching the recording later, please also pop in. Let me know that you've been here and I'll always come back in and answer any questions that come up then. Now, before we actually get started, if you know anyone else who would benefit from joining us here on the challenge, then please let them know. I'll put the link down below for them to join. If you think there's somebody else, another gorgeous woman who's in business who could benefit from learning more about how to use live free content in her business. Anyone else that you think may need some help with growing their list and getting some brilliant ideas on how to do that faster and with more momentum, then please let them know and share the link that I'll put below in the chat box underneath. And if you can share this video, that would be fantastic. We're using the hashtag live free content challenge. So pop that in whenever you are talking about our challenge. And let's get as many people as possible in here because it's just such a fabulous topic that's going to be have such a big impact on how you are growing your business and will make it happen that much faster. So let's get started. Now, today's topic is how to nail your ideal client. And the key to this is to be as specific as possible. And this is something that I always emphasize with people. I'm always talking about how going general is just not the way to go. And so many people are worried that if they do really want to have a big business, they need to appeal to as many people as possible. So they try to really expand out their ideal client base, their target market, so that they don't miss out on anyone and they have a bigger chance of attracting people to them. But this actually works against you because by being so general and not being as specific as you could be, you are, one, maybe not attracting your ideal client or your dream client or the person that really has those burning problems that you're able to offer a solution to, and you're not going to grab their attention because you're putting out generic stuff. You're not really honing in on their specific problems and really grabbing their attention that way, because that has such can make such a big difference with the way you are marketing if you can use specific examples or if you can really appeal directly to the people that you want to attract. So get really specific, and that is how you're going to be able to stand out in a busy online world, in a crowd, having that really unique way of speaking that attracts the right people to you. And the right people are the ones that have a problem that you can solve and that you love working with. So that is moves us on to our second point, which is your why. And for those of you who haven't yet identified perhaps who it is you really, really want to work with, then getting back to your why, your reason that you started your business in the first place, is a great place to start. So getting clear on what made you start your business. What is it about what you're doing that really gets you excited? What's your ultimate vision for your business? What are the goals that you have? And those are the things that you're able to use to then attract the right people to you. And the right people are the people that you love working with. There's no point in you deciding on a brilliant business idea that makes perfect business sense and will potentially have a great future if you're going to hate doing what you have to do to run that business, and if you have to work with people that you really are not excited about working with. So I think it's really key to be very clear on who you want to work with, why you started the business in the first place, and what your purpose is with your business. How do you want it to be? Do you want to have a great big business? Do you want to have a little small niche boutique business? Whatever it is, you need to have that picture in your mind, and that's how you're going to structure it, and that's how you're going to attract the right people to you, and that's how you're then going to be able to know what content to put out there to attract those people to you. So you don't want to try and be everything to everyone. Identify what your passion is and really hone in on that, and that's where you want to bring all the pieces together. The people that you love to work with, the things that you know you are brilliant at doing and can offer as a service to these people, and it solves their problems. It solves the problems that they are really 100% ready and willing to get solved, and the time is right for them. So all those things have to come together in that perfect storm so that you have an ideal client who is ready to make a change. There's no point in you having a brilliant solution or your business solving a fantastic problem if people don't even know that they have a problem. Okay, Leanne, no problem. That's fine. Thank you. So that is really, really important. Knowing who your ideal client is, the problem that they have, and that they are ready to solve that problem now. Because if they don't have that sense of urgency, then no matter how brilliant your solution is, they're not going to be interested because they're not ready. The pain is not enough. The promise of what they're going to get is not enough, and therefore they're not going to take the step of investing their time, money, and energy with you. Okay. If you are, again, as I said, still not clear on what this is, if you know that you love working with maybe women who are mums who are wanting to get back more time in their lives, maybe they're starting a business and they want to be able to have that harmony between their business and their work life, their business life and their home life. If you're not exactly clear on how you want to help them, then what you need to do is really identify with what turns you on, what excites you. What sort of things can you do that make you lose track of time? So for me, for example, I have always loved being organized and making lists and tidying my cupboards and organizing my pantry and creating menu lists so that I'm planning ahead. Planning is something I love doing. So when I decided on my business, I knew that that was something that I could do easily. It came easily to me to help people plan. And it's just a matter of channeling that excitement and that talent that you have and that passion into a stream that's going to actually create a great business. So for me, I found that it worked really well. I loved working with business women. I loved the challenge of the business. I loved the excitement of helping them develop a business and grow from here to here and see the income change and see the scope of their business change and see what happens once they set up their marketing channels. And that was something that really excited me. So that was the way that I went. So you need to find for yourself, what are the things that you love doing that you can then adapt and make really put them into your business, because that is going to be where it's effortless for you. You're not going to be really having to work so hard the whole time trying to make things work and having such a challenge. If it's something that is your passion and it's something you're very talented at, something you love doing, then it's like it's not work at all. So finding those things and really melding them in together is key. The other thing you want to do is to be very clear on who it is you work with and what you do for them. And the outcome is key. You can talk all you like about your program and how many modules it has, and how many sessions you spend with people, and how many different pages are in your PDF. But that's not what's going to attract the right people, your ideal client. What's going to attract them is you giving them the promise of what they're going to get. What transformation are you going to help them make? And this is such a transforming moment if you can realize this for yourself, that you are not giving, even if you have a program, if you have a service, if you have a coaching package, if you have a special program, whatever it is, you're not giving them a program. That's not what you're offering them. What you are offering them is a transformation, is an outcome, is the dream outcome that they are searching for. And that is how you're going to be able to switch them from being someone who might be watching you regularly online and thinking, oh, she's interesting, that's nice, to saying, wow, she is brilliant. That is exactly what I need. If I work with her, I know that I'm going to be able to achieve this brilliant outcome, whatever it is, whether it's to lose 10 kilos, whether it's to have a business that's making 100K a year, whether it's having $1 million business, whatever it is, if you can sell the transformation. And the key, of course, is to know your ideal client so that you know what the transformation is that they want to make. And that's what you're going to sell. And that's what you're going to offer with your free content. You're going to be talking about what they are going to get, what benefits, what's the brilliant goal or dream that they're going to achieve by listening to your content, by attending your webinar, by listening to your podcast, whatever it is, and then eventually joining you as a customer or a valued client. So if you are still not having the success in your business that you would like, even though you are quite clear on who you might want to work with, then you may have to go down and go that bit deeper. Identify what's working for you right now and what's not working. And one way that you can do this is to see whether you can simply and easily define your business or what you do in a succinct sentence or paragraph. So if I said to you, what do you do? And you said, oh, I help people who are in business, and I help them with their marketing, and I help them get more clients, and I help them online, and we work out how to create a plan for them so that they know what they're going to do each day when they're online. You could go on for 10 minutes about this, and you could end up, I would be even more confused than when I asked you the question. And if that's how you have in your head what you do, then it's very hard for you to then put that out to the world so that they can understand it as well. And if you are not clear, specific, and very, very crystal clear on what it is you do, the service that you offer, or the investment, what people are going to be investing in with you, then they're going to switch off and they're going to scroll along the newsfeed to the next person. So if you can get that down into a clear sentence, if you can be really, really clear about who it is you help, about what you help them with, what their problems are, what you help them with, and what the benefit is of them working with you, then that is going to be your key. That's how you're going to get the clients. That's how you're going to get people to switch over from just being interested to actually signing up and putting their money where their mouth is and investing. So that's really clear. So if you can't do that, if you can't describe your business in 1 or 2 sentences, if you can't describe who it is you work with in 1 or 2 sentences, then you need to go back to the drawing board and hone that in and get clearer on that. Now, if you want any help with this, then pop it in here. Now, I can see that Belinda has done that, so I'm going to have a look and see what she's done here. So, Belinda, I help mums grow their business using smart, streamlined strategies that suit their busy lives. Excellent. That's excellent, Belinda. What I would suggest as well is to add in an extra bit after that, which is so that they can, because that adds that little bit of extra power, so that this is what you're going to help them with, and it's going to give you this, but what's the benefit of having that? What's the benefit of having these smart, streamlined strategies? So if you can add in a little so that they can, that will make it even more powerful. But that's really great. You're really clear on who you help and what you do for them. And so everybody have a look at what Belinda's got, and and add in your little bit if you'd like to share it with us. That would be fantastic. All right, so what is a niche? Now, a niche is something that is a word that's bandied around very often, and it's something that is, some people will be very clear on what their niche is, and others will have no idea what I'm talking about. So the definition I found when I looked it up is a niche is denoting or relating to products, services, or interests that appeal to a small, specialized section of the population. And this is really important because the smaller and more specialized area of the population that you can target, the more power your business is going to have. Sure, it's going to reduce your audience right down, but the audience that you have then are going to be much more interested in you and what you do because you are so specialized. If you're not sure about whether you have a profitable niche, if you're not sure about whether the niche you have is going to work for you, then think about it like this. If you only had 12 months to live, and you still had to work and make money while you were living, then is this the niche that you would want to work with for those 12 months? And that's key. Is this something that really turns you on, that you're excited about? If you had to work in this business for the rest of your life without retiring, would you love this enough to stay in this niche? So have a think about those, because as I said before, even though something is a great business idea, or potentially a great business idea, you have to spend a bit of time in your business. You have to spend a lot of time with these people. So you want to make it something that you enjoy. So it has to have that heart-centered and that business-centered aspect to it. The other thing is, of course, have you got a profitable niche? Have you selected a profitable niche? How do you know if you have selected a profitable niche? Well, some of the things that you need to consider are, on a scale of 1 to 10, how painful is this problem that you solve for your niche? Now, if it's at a 1 or a 2, that's not enough. It has to be an 8, 9, or 10, because otherwise, what's going to make them take action and want to actually solve that niche? How great are you at solving this problem? So do you have a brilliant solution that's really going to work well for them? Can you deliver this answer to their problems? How capable are you of solving their problems? And do you have a tangible promise? What is it that you're offering them? What is the outcome that you're offering them? As I said before, the more clear you can be with your outcomes, the more chance you are of having people saying, I need that, and signing on the dotted line. If you're airy-fairy, if you're not clear, if they don't know what they're going to get, then that's not going to be enough to tip them over the edge to becoming a client. For example, if you could guarantee that they would perfect this area of their life, would the outcome be worth X amount of dollars for them? Use these criteria to think about whether the niche you have chosen and the ideal client you are planning to work with is a great one. So, do they have a serious problem right now? Analyze on a scale of 1 to 10 where they're sitting with this problem, how painful it is. Can you deliver a brilliant solution for this problem? Does your business have a tangible promise? Do you have something you can really say, this is what you're going to get by working with me or by doing my program or whatever it is you're offering them? And then, if you could guarantee that they could get this solution, if it was a no-brainer, would they be willing to pay a certain amount of money to get this solution? Is it a big enough problem for them? All right, now let me just answer a couple of questions that have come in here. Okay, excellent. So Belinda's added in there so that they can enjoy their business and be the mum they want to be. I would just also add in, that's great, Belinda, but being really clear on what is the mum that they want to be. Maybe is it have time to spend with their kids after school and sit and read. Something like that that's more of a tangible promise. Because the more specific, and you can have a couple of different things here. You could say something like, you know, sit and read with your kids after dinner, or be able to go to the school play when it's on without having to take time off from your job. This is, the more specific you can be, the more you're going to be able to connect with your audience. Now Nicole's got here, I have developed a community free share program supporting people affected by homelessness, providing clothing, hygiene, essentials, food, and free hugs. Okay, I have developed a community free share program supporting her. That's excellent. You could break that down into, as I said, so that they can, so that it makes it even more clear. So who is it you help? So you're helping people affected by homelessness. You're who are. I would also add in there what they're struggling with homelessness, and you're giving them the clothing, hygiene, essentials, food, and free hugs, so that they can get back their self-respect, so that they can get on with their lives and get out of the situation they're in. Something like that would make it even more powerful. I'll just suggest that to you, Nicole, but otherwise you've done really well. I like that. That's really clear. Okay. So where are we here? So you want to know who your ideal client is. You want to know what problems they are, what is keeping them awake at night. This is just so, so important. And as I said, you need to know something that they are willing to pay for, that they are ready to change. And again, something else that's really important is that they know that it's a problem. Because if you're saying to them something like if they're mums who want to get their time back so that they can have self-care, but they don't it's not really enough of a problem for them, or the underlying problem is something else, you have to appeal to what they know. There's no point you telling them that the reason that they are not having self-care in their lives is because they're not putting themselves first, and they're not prioritizing, and they have low self-worth, and they have whatever else it is. You need to appeal to what they know, that they have no time, for example. Maybe that's what they think the problem is. They think that the problem is they're too busy, they have no time to look after themselves. But underlying that may be that they feel guilty about spending time on themselves. They may feel guilty about spending money. They may feel that they're not worth it. Whatever it is, they've lost their identity as a mother. Those sort of things will come later. That's what happens in your program once they're signed up with you, and that's what you're going to deal with. But the tangible promise has to be dealing with what they know right now is their problem. Get it? Good. Okay. All right. So you want to dive, as I said, your ideal client. This is something that's talked about so often, but it's so, so important. And I've been to a few different talks recently about this that has defined it in lots of different ways. I think the key is you've got to get clear on who they are, what problems they have, and how you can solve these problems. The deeper you can get, the better. I really recommend knowing an age range. How old are they? Are they married? Are they male? Are they female? Do they have kids? Where do they hang out? All those sorts of things are really important. As much information as you can have on your ideal client is key. If you think you have a few different clients and they are quite different to each other, define them separately. Don't try and mingle them in together, because that only makes them blurred and dilutes the effectiveness of your marketing. Have 2 different clients if you need to. What are they worried about? What is their worst case scenario? And also you want to really delve into what would happen if the problems that they're having got worse. So you can be the devil's advocate. And I know I've talked about this again before, that pain is usually a stronger motivator than pleasure. So avoiding pain or getting pleasure are usually the main things that we focus on in marketing. And one of those two, or a combination of them, can work really, really well. Some people, some types of clients, potential clients, will respond better to the pain scenario. Others will be more motivated by the pleasure, by the outcome. So you need to find out what works best with your clients. And it may be a matter of playing around with the different options and seeing what gets the most traction. But if you can really hone in on, if you're talking about the pain situation and they're saying, oh yeah, but it's okay, I'm not ready to invest with coaching with you. What happens if it's going to get worse? So give them the worst case scenario. Okay, so you've got no clients. You're spending $5,000 a month on XYZ in your business. You're going downhill every month. How long can you go on like this? What's going to happen in 5 months if you're then this much down, this much in debt, and you've still got no clients? How are things going to be then? So by using that real, not scare tactics so much, but really making them aware of how much longer can they go on like this? That can be a great way of marketing. Okay, what else have we got on here? So, that's right. Moving on now to research. So, I would recommend definitely defining who your ideal client is, as I said, as clearly as possible with those different questions I talked about. Now, I do have an ideal client blueprint as well that is a template that you can fill in. Makes it very easy to define this. If you would like me to send this to you, then please pop your email below here and write ideal client blueprint, and I will get that out to you ASAP. But that is a great tool to use to make this as easy as pie. What you want to do then is to get as much information on your ideal client as possible, and you do this by doing research. Now, firstly, you want to find out, where are they? Because if you're going to be offering content to them, if you want to potentially attract them to you as clients, then you need to know where to find them. You need to know where you're going to put out this great free content. Okay. Where can you find them? Well, once you've identified who they are by doing the ideal client blueprint, as I said, and defining your ideal client into a little paragraph so that you can look at them and go, that is who I work with. That's my person. That's who I want to attract. Then you want to find out more about them. And the way to do this is to ask them questions. I have done this so successfully by actually interviewing them. Now, if you are like me and use Facebook as your #1 marketing strategy, then you probably already have some Facebook groups that you are spending time in. And presumably, or ideally, they should be containing potential clients. So I often recommend to my clients that they have maybe up to 3 Facebook groups that they spend time in, as well as their own Facebook group, which is a whole nother story. But if you can go into these groups and listen to what they're saying, what are they talking about? What's the hot topic at the moment? What are they complaining about? What are they celebrating? Then those are the things that you want to be able to use in your marketing and in developing your programs or services that's going to be able to attract them. And if you can, you want to ideally talk to them. Now, what I did here was I put out a little post when I was developing a coaching package. I was updating the way that I was having my coaching packages run, and I wanted to get some feedback from my ideal client before I changed everything. So I put out a post. I put it on my Facebook group. In my Facebook group, I put it on my Facebook page. In a few other groups that I was a member of, I sent out an email to my database asking if who would be willing to chat with me on the phone and answer some questions. If you are XYZ person, if these problems are what you have, then you are my ideal client, and I would love to do a bit of research by asking you some questions. And that worked absolutely brilliantly. So I was able to get people on the phone with me, and I created a list of, I think, 10 questions to ask them, and wrote down everything that they said, wrote down their answers and what was underlying their answers, the words that they were using when they were answering the questions, the things that they added in that I hadn't even thought of. And it was just so invaluable, because when you're marketing online, you get caught up in your own hype, and you think you know what people want, and you think that what you're doing is fantastic, and you put it out there, and you don't necessarily know for sure until you get the feedback, or you get nothing, because what you're putting out there is not working and it's not what they want. If you can actually put something out there, ask for feedback and get that feedback back, and then tweak what you've done and change it, and use the words that they're saying and use the things that they are asking for or saying that they really need or that they're really struggling with, then that makes it so much more powerful. Now, the key to this, of course, is to only speak to your ideal clients. Don't talk to your friends. Don't talk to people that are not your ideal client, but you think they'd be great because they are willing to talk to you, because they're not going to give you the answers that you need. You need to make sure that the people you're talking to are your ideal clients. That's key. So what I found myself, I've got about 13 questions here, but some of the things I was asking them were things like, what is your biggest challenge in your business? Why did you start your business in the first place? What bothers you so much that you would pay almost anything for it? What's stopping you from moving forward in your business? Obviously, I'm a business coach, so all of my questions are related to that. If you were a weight loss coach, you might say, what is stopping you from losing weight? What have you tried before that hasn't worked? If you had what would you want in a weight loss program? Do you like online classes? Do you like one-on-one? Would you like a Facebook group? Things like that. You can get really, really detailed, and it gives you so much great information about your ideal client. And it then enables you to change what you've done, or to start from scratch and develop a program or a package or whatever it is you're offering. And it's really going to be tailored, and it's going to have so much more impact because you actually have that ideal client research done and you know what they want. Even things like, I was asking them, how long do you think would be ideal for a program, a coaching package? 3 months, 6 months, 1 month. How much would you be willing to invest in this program? And this is brilliant because they're not going to have to pay. I mean, I found that I then was able to potentially talk to them as clients, but that's not the aim of this exercise. And you're getting them without them thinking that knowing that you're not going to sell to them. They can just say what they think. And if they've done something else that was $1,000 and they think that is a good investment price, and somebody else they may have worked with was $5,000, and you can ask them questions. What would you expect in this program if you paid X amount of money? What inclusions would you expect? What transformation would you expect from this? Because that's the key, as well, as I was saying before. It's not what's in the program so much as what do they get at the end? What's their goal and what's their outcome? And that, you can have a program with, like, for example, if you have a lead magnet. Now, lead magnet is your freebie that you offer people in exchange for their name and email address. You can give someone a 100-page ebook, and that may not be as valuable as giving them a 1-page checklist of whatever it is you do that's going to give them much better results. So it's not, what I'm trying to get at is, it's not quantity. It doesn't matter how big it is. It's the value of the information, and it's the value of the transformation that they get from doing this program or using this information. That is key. Don't think that it's a time for money. It's an amount of inclusions, how many extra videos they get, whatever it is. It's the transformation and the outcome that is going to be key. And that's what you have to always keep in mind. That's what's going to sell your program or sell your coaching package or whatever it is. The transformation that you can offer people, that you can promise people, that's what's going to get them to make the decision to invest. So getting back to what I was saying, the process of doing these ideal client research interviews was putting out a post somewhere, or putting out an email, sending out an email to your database, or even people that you know who are your ideal clients, saying to them, would you be willing to get on the phone with me for 20 minutes and answer a couple of questions because I'm developing a new program. What I did also was I set up, I have Time Trade, which is my online calendar. I set up a link that people could click on, and then I would have my calendar set up with certain blocked out times that I was willing to take those interviews, to book those interviews in. And that way, it's as simple as possible for both of you. You're not going, oh, what about 10 o'clock on Tuesday? No, I can't do that. What about Thursday? And going back and forward. It's making it a very professional relationship, and it's not, and you're then choosing when the times are that you're willing to speak to people. If they can't fit into those times, then you've got the option of changing them, of course, but that really makes things much more structured and works really well. So I would definitely recommend that. Okay, so just recapping about the ideal client research. You want to find out, firstly, you're finding out who your ideal client is. Then you want to talk to them. You're going to put out a post or an email or whatever it is to get them on the phone with you. Or I find phone is better. The other option is, of course, to email them the questions and they can answer them typed back. But you're going to get much more information by listening to them, by hearing those nuances, by even hearing the tone of their voice when they're talking about something. That's going to really be valuable. But as I said, the other option is to email them the questions or to personal message them or something like that. The main thing is to get the answers, to get the ideal client and only speak to the ideal client, and then to get the answers and then collate them together. And what I did was then I created I put them all together, the different answers to the questions, and worked out what was the common themes and the threads between the different people, and that was how I was able to really use that information to structure what I was planning moving forward. Very valuable. Okay, so all right. So let's answer some questions here. So let me just have a little look back what we've got here. All right. Okay, so all right, so I've got Leanne here. So Leanne, I help people who want to find more flexibility in their work life, to find possibilities. I assist them find their genius, determine how they can use their gifts and passions to move forward towards their future ideal average day. We work together to gain clarity of what they really want. So, oh, now it's run out. Okay. All right. So that's good, Leanne. It's a bit big, a bit long. So I would definitely suggest that you change it a little bit. So people, I would be more specific about people. Who are they? Are they male? Are they female? Are they business people? Are they entrepreneurs? Are they mums, dads? I'd be more specific about that. And possibilities. What are possibilities to them? So it's a good start, but I think it just needs a little bit more, what's the word? Honing in, a little bit more succinctness, concise. So if you can pop it up again, and if we don't get to it today, then I'll come back to it. If you put up a little bit more concise, who are they? What are they struggling with? What do they want instead? And what do you offer them? What's the solution that you're going to offer them, the outcome or the transformation that you're going to offer them? And what does it mean to them? So even if you say, a lot of people are talking about purpose, you know, I help mums find purpose. Well, what is purpose to them? It needs to be more specific to that, because that could be anybody in the world. I want to help you find your purpose. Even if you can put in some examples, that would be great. Okay, so we've got Nicole back again. So that the person affected by homelessness can feel part of the community, excellent, and not feel exclusion. I developed this community-free share program to get people in the community to be involved in part of the solution to the problems surrounding homelessness. So that that's not showing me all of the, sorry, it's not showing me all of your comment there, Nicole. But that's good, yes. So what you said before earlier, if you can add that bit in so that they can so that they are not feeling, they can, or eliminate the exclusion, the feeling of exclusion, and bring them back into the community. Something like that would work really well. And again, if you pop that up there, I'm happy to look at it afterwards. All right, so what have we got here? Okay, wonderful. Excellent. Okay. All right, so homework. We have some homework today. Any questions, pop them up too. The homework I would like you to do before tomorrow, and I know that's a big ask because tomorrow's only a day away, but even if you can put this on your list and get onto it, is to, 1, define your ideal client in 1 paragraph. As I said, if you want to have my ideal client blueprint to help you with this, pop your email down below and I'll send it to you, and that will just give you a little bit of extra help. And then write a list of 10 questions that you would like to ask your interviewees, because I would like you to do some ideal client research. I'd like you to find 5 people, 3 to 5 people that you can ask these questions to. Now, as I said before, we have various ways of getting these people, finding them, and then getting them to agree to go ahead with the interview. And if you want some help with that, then tomorrow, please ask. For the minute, your homework is to define your ideal client in 1 paragraph. Write a list of questions that you want to ask your potential interviewees, and find 5 people that you can interview, so that you're going to then be able to set up these interviews with them and get so much more information on who your ideal client is and what they want. What transformation do they want? Because that is what you're going to use in your marketing. And that's what you're going to use to be able to develop this free content. This live free content that this challenge is about is just such a powerful way of connecting with your target market. But there's no point in jumping into that until we know who we're talking about, who we're talking to. That is key. Okay. All right. Excellent here. Now, Belinda, my ideal client is a mum who has regular sales in her business, but she's frustrated that the income doesn't reflect the hours and work she puts in. Excellent. That is very specific. And that is, you can see how powerful that is if someone reads that rather than say, a mum in business, you know, a struggling mum in business. That is very, very clear. Excellent, Belinda. Okay, so that's it for today. Now, tomorrow we are talking about my simple step-by-step formula for creating irresistible content that your ideal clients can't say no to. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you same time, same place. As I said earlier, if there is anyone else you feel would benefit from joining our challenge, then please let them know. And as I said, I'll pop in the link below for them to sign up. And otherwise, I will see you tomorrow, ladies. Bye-bye for now.